again. I've put a short video together on how to remove and reinstall the rear wheel on the Honda CBR600RR 07 onwards. Show you the benefit of captive spacers. If you haven't heard of those before, I'll show you what they are. And also the benefit of having a large screwdriver when you're reinstalling the wheel. Just a little trick that's worth knowing. So I hope you enjoy the... Okay, the first thing we do is remove this 32mm nut. Take that off and then take the washer and the washer and the spacer. Now you just put your right hand on top of the wheel and just take a bit of the weight. You can push that through like that. I don't know if you noticed, but I've got my axle bolt in the other way around. When you buy these bikes, the nut is on the right hand side. I always swap mine over. There's no law that says you have to have the nut on the right hand side. I prefer to have it on the left hand side because I think it makes it easier when you put it back on, because you're putting the bolt through the brake caliper first. So here's the other side. You can see how I've pushed this through. Now with my left hand, I'm just taking the weight of the wheel and I can just pull this out like that. And then while I'm still holding it, I can take the brake caliper off. Now that the wheel's off and sitting on the table, I just sort of pull it forward and up, and then I can take the chain off. Just sit it on the end there like that. Now you can just pull it out. So when you've got the wheel out, you can just remove the sprocket carrier. That just pulls straight off. Like that. And these little cushion rubbers, you just pull them out. Just wanted to show you something else here. If my bike's a track bike, race bike, so I'm always taking the wheels off to change tyres. So this is the best thing you can ever do and get get what's called captive spacers. I don't know if you noticed, but those spacers didn't fall out. That's because they're called captive spacers. I'll show you what that means. I'll just pull this out. So, see how the spacer has a little lip on the end? So what happens is when you push the spacers in through the seal, that little lip goes in behind the seal and holds it in there. So you can buy these on eBay for probably about $40 odd for a pair. I actually made these myself on my mini lathe. But greatest thing ever, if you constantly taking your wheels in and out to change tyres, this makes it so much easier. So now that'll just push in. And it just sort of clicks into place, as you could hear it, so that still turns alright. Okay, to reinstall the rear wheel, first thing is put the sprocket carrier back on, so once you put the little rubber cushions in. When you're putting it back in, usually makes it a bit easier if you just get a screwdriver and just push the piston back in a little bit. So put a screwdriver between the pads. Just give yourself a bit more room. On the brake caliper holder, there's a guide post there, and there's a slot in the side of the swing arm. So that has to go into there, like that. So you can see how that will slide backwards and forwards on that. So that's how it has to go together. So just lift the wheel up and push it forward. Once you've got it in between the swing arm, just push it forward and lift it a bit and get the chain back on, like that. Now, grab your caliper and you can actually put it into its slot. You can actually slide it part the way into the slot, like that. So that's sitting in the right spot, and then you should be able to lift the wheel with your left hand and get the disc in between the pads. Now with your right hand, grab the axle and you can put it through the caliper bracket. And just push it all the way through, like that. So that's these back over the other side. Put the little spacer block back in there in front of the adjuster nut. Put the washer on and screw the nut on. Just screw it on by hand as far as it'll go. And now here's a little trick. Get the fattest screwdriver you can find and put it in the chain like that. And if you roll the wheel forward, what that will do is it pulls the wheel hard against the adjuster nuts. So you just keep pressure on the wheel, trying to roll it forward. Put your torque wrench on there and have it set to 110 Newton meters. And that's it. Remember, we pushed the pads back out. Last thing to do is pump the brake lever to pump the pads back out against the disc. So that's it. That's how you remove and install your rear wheel. Thanks for watching.